Hey there, if you're like many presenters, the first couple of minutes of your presentation can be a little bit nerve-wracking. And I'm bringing this up because I was just speaking at a conference in Denver and a woman in my audience raised her hand and she said, I speak a lot and I really like it, but I noticed that the first couple of minutes of every presentation, I feel like I can't catch my breath. What can I do about that? Let's fast forward just one day later and she was delivering a keynote at the same conference. So afterwards I went up to her and I said, oh my gosh, you didn't seem nervous at all. She said, no, for the first time I wasn't. I followed what you said yesterday and I felt really confident. So let me share with you what I told her. 3 steps to feeling confident when you first take the stage, or at least if you don't feel confident, looking confident. Number 1, if you believe like I do that your thoughts control your feelings, then making sure you're thinking the right things prior to taking the stage is super, super important. So one of the things that I do is when I'm waiting to, kind of like in the room and maybe I'm there, a little bit early and I'm setting up and I'm kind of looking around the room and then I'm waiting to be introduced. I'm trying not to think about, are they going to like me? How's it going to go? I'm really trying to stay very focused on the audience and just like loving them and blessing them. And so one of the prayers that I always pray, and if you've watched me in any videos before, you may have heard me said this, but it bears repeating, Lord, please let me forget myself, remember my words, and bless my audience. And so I'll just repeat that over and over again like a mantra. As long as I focus on the audience and giving them a gift rather than on my performance and how I'm gonna do, right? That should have been taken care of in practice. I can usually stay in a pretty good mindset and that keeps my confidence up and the nerves down. Okay, the second is when you take the stage for the first couple of minutes, unless there's a reason in your content to move, unless you need to make a point with a story and you need to move in order to do that, you want to make sure you stand still. And what I mean by that is your feet are rooted and firmly planted on the stage. Your torso moves, your arms move, your hands move, your head moves, but your feet are firmly planted because a pacing presenter looks and feels nervous. And even if you are nervous, if you do not pace and you stay rooted in one spot, your audience will not think you are nervous. And then third, have a carefully crafted, predictable opening. So one of the things that I recommend to my clients is that they open with some form of a question. Okay? A question that is about the content that's coming, a question that gets their audiences nodding their heads yes in agreement, and a question that is you focused. It means audience focused. And what that does is it gets the brain actually to focus on the presenter and off of their phone and off of what they're thinking about, doing for dinner and onto the presenter. But it also helps the presenter because if you use the same or similar type of question every time you open your presentation, you will get a predictable response from your audience. And when you get a predictable, favorable response, this is going to calm your nerves. So for example, in one of my keynotes, I typically open with, raise your hand if you never want your audience to look like this. And then I show them a picture of a really bored looking audience. And I know what's gonna happen. Everyone laughs, some people raise their hands, and then I say, good, I don't want your audience to look like this either. And it's an opportunity for me to connect with the audience. It lets my nerves settle down and I can move forward with confidence. So try those 3 strategies. Manage your mindset ahead of time, right? Think about just blessing the audience, not about your performance. 2, stay firmly rooted in one spot for the first couple minutes of your presentation. And then 3, open with a predictable, favorable opening, something like a simple question. And you will see, like my new friend saw, that you will not be nervous when you open your presentation, or at the very best, you won't look that way. So I hope you enjoyed this tale from the trenches. Stay tuned for more to come. Bye-bye.